All right, guys. So we just went over the clone stamp tool PowerPoint. So now I'm gonna just demonstrate to you guys on like how to actually use it and use it correctly, and get unwanted objects out and stains and so on and so forth. So what you're gonna do is instead of making a new project, we're literally just gonna drag and drop the photo into Photopea. So after you download, your pictures, all you have to do is either, click and drag and place it, or you could even click on open from computer and then find the file. So let that load for a second. Now, for me, for whatever reason, like these layers show up. They shouldn't, but for whatever reason they do. Just ignore them. You don't need them. Actually, let's see if we could delete them. Yeah, we can. So we don't need it. We just need the main one. So now what you're going to do is you're going to zoom in. So a few things that we notice on this picture is there's some garbage, underneath their feet. A couple other things they have here. Let's see. Um, let me get my, whoopsie, let me get my hand tool and move around. There's a bar over here that's like distracting, and then also a little bit over here. So the clone stamp tool is a great tool to get rid of these things. So let's start with this over here. So you're going to zoom in to your area, and honestly, I would suggest zooming in as close as you possibly can. Maybe zoom out just a tad bit, because you want to be able to really see, what you're working on. Then you click on the clone stamp tool, and then in order for it to work, you need to hold Alt on your keyboard, and then this will pop up. So this is basically telling you that a target needs to get placed somewhere. So for example, um, we could kind of look maybe like over here or over here and kind of use this area to, clone stamp this part out. So I'm going to maybe select my area like right here. So I just placed my target, and then I'm going to just make my brush size a little bit bigger by using the bracket keys on your keyboard, or you can even, drag the size of the brush up here. So that's a little bit better. And then literally all you're going to do is just paint and clone the area. And again, like you have to be careful because you don't want to, mimic, too many things. So like maybe I'll go over here, or maybe just like a little bit better and then go up. Maybe I'll come over here and kind of clone stamp that out. So now the thing is you have to be careful because it kind of looks like this one's like super harsh. So what you could actually do is you could drop the opacity just a little bit and then go from there and kind of just like gradually, get rid of um, the areas. So now the thing is you want to be able to, um, you know, um, like really like seamlessly blend this. So now, like I said, I'm going to go back in probably over here and kind of just, continue to clone stamp this part over here. So we just want to like, we kind of want to blend it as best as we possibly can. And then I'm just going to go like that. Maybe just put another one over here. So that looks pretty good. I just want to get this little part out over there. Just be careful because like I said, you could kind of see these like circle parts. Usually in Photoshop, it's a little bit smoother of a transition. So just be careful. So when we zoom out, let's look. You don't even notice it, especially because it's so far away. So then let's do this one. So same thing. All you got to do is get your clone stamp tool, click on the Alt button, click and place your target area, and then just start, going over the area that you want cloned out. Again, you got to just be careful with this brush. For some reason, it's like really, let's see if we could change. Oh, no, I don't want that. Let's see. Overlay. Let's like see what overlay looks like. No. I mean, usually normal works, but it's kind of like a harsh, like I'm surprised at how harsh this is. So again, just try your best. We'll have to maybe lower the opacity a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I mean, it'll work because, when you zoom out, you don't notice it at all. Now this area is going to be a little bit more complicated because one, we have a, shadowed area behind, and then we have like a lighter area. We also have these lines that we have to, repeat. We also are like in between like two different planes here. Like we have the side rock over here and then the floor over here. So the thing is we have to be very careful when we do this one over here. I'm also going to make my brush size a little bit smaller. Um, and I'm going to start maybe over here, and then I'm just going to go down with it. I'm also going to make my opacity a little bit stronger over here, and then there you go. So again, we're just going to go down, and then over here, I'm going to, follow the line. So see how I'm matching up my circle to kind of follow where I think the line would go. And then I'm just going to, continue over here and continue this way. So, you just want to be able to like line it up as best as you possibly can. Don't do that. Miss G clicked by accident, so I just go edit undo. I might make my brush size a little bit smaller. Go back in. So again, like it's just it's like a give and take. You have to give a little, you have to take a little. So like I said, I'm just gradually doing this as best as I can. I want to try and get it as smooth as possible. I want to line up these lines as best as possible. So that's why I'm kind of like going back and forth. I keep moving my target area. So if you notice, I keep placing it in different areas, and then I keep going back and forth. So again, I'm gonna maybe go a little bit darker now because behind like all this is darker. Now also the thing is, a key point is you don't want to get too close. Like I don't want to place a target area here because then it's going to be harder for like you're not going to have that long of a transition. So you kind of want to go farther away so then you have room, because see how like that little arrow, the little cross pops up over here? That's where it's telling you where it's, it is cloning right now. So again, like I said, you just want to like, take your time. And like I said, you have to keep moving your target area. If you don't, it's not going to work. And you're going to get like you're going to get like kind of annoyed with it. So again, just, be patient, keep moving your target area. Um, and then, like you said, you'll eventually, will get it as best as you can. So again, I'm just going to, try and make this as smooth as possible. I'm going to go like a little darker over here. So then, we transition from this like darker spot to lighter spot. And then that looks pretty good. So if we zoom out, look, can't even tell that it's gone. And then if you want, you could go back in over here. Let me just get my hand tool, move over. You could clone these stamps, these parts out. You could even use the spot healing brush tool. Like I could literally just click and gone. Click and gone. Now, the reason why we couldn't use the spot healing brush tool for the other part was because, if you get in an area like too close where there's like multiple spots that have to get fixed, it's just going to be a disaster to like try and fix it. So, like I said, we could just use this tool for like, because they're just like little debris. Like it's not a big deal. Or you could use the clone stamp tool, totally up to you. But again, you want to do something, you want to make it look, like it's getting, like it looks natural, like that you didn't edit it out. That is the whole point. The whole point is to, remove these things and look like that's how this photo was exactly supposed to be. So now if I zoom out, that looks good. So now what you're going to do is same thing, you're going to rename your file here. So I'm going to double click and then, last name, first initial, underscore, clone, stamp, 1 will be the name. And then you click OK. And then, file. For this one, you guys don't have to save your PSD file because the thing is, like, there are no layers. So I could just, export it as a JPEG and that's perfectly fine. And then, make sure that everything is set, make your quality all the way to 100, and then hit save. So that's the first one. So you're going to work on this one. Then when you're done with this one, so I'm going to close this one out. Then you're going to work on this second one. So same thing, you're just literally going to drag and drop and place the photo in, this area. So now this one's a little bit more complicated. As you can see, there's all these stains, there's these wrinkles. It's a little bit, more complicated than the other photo. So, couple of tips and tricks. One year I had a student who actually like taught me how to do this. So, you could get, so right here, you kind of have like a clean border option over here. So the best way to do this is literally take your rectangular marquee tool and click and drag over, the one border. So I would go like a little past, so then you're getting new clean borders. So I could go there, then I could take my eyedropper tool, sample the area that's the cleanest. So that's like the cleanest area. I got my color here. And then I'm gonna take my paintbrush tool. I'm gonna make my brush sizer bigger and then literally paint. And look, clean border in 2 seconds. How amazing is that? So then I'm going to repeat the process. So I'm just literally going to select deselect or control D on your keyboard. Then I'm going to, go this way. So I'm going to come this way. I will leave that stain there because I'll go in and fix it. You might have to go back in and like redo the border, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. Just try and get it, as clean as possible right now. So then it's done already and it's pretty much easy. You could always refix it. So then again, I'm going to clean that up. And then same thing, Control D. And I'm going to go this way now. And I'm going to, now here's the thing, you could also move move the marquee before you place it. So like say you went like too high, like right here. You could actually move it down, to exactly where you want it. And then again, take my paintbrush tool and clean in 2 seconds, literally. And then last but not least, let me do the last one. And now this one, like I said, I want to try and get as close as I can. I'm going to try and clean that up later. But then, like I said, you could always go back in and redo your borders. So look at that. Literally clean borders in a matter of 2 seconds. So yeah, so now like that's one step. And then now you have the rest to do over here. So then, you're going to go back in and you're going to get as close as possible. Use the cleanest areas. Now over here it's going to get a little complicated because of his features, so you want to be careful. Also another area over here, like this one might get a little complicated, and over here, so just take your time and be careful and go slow. Like I said, you want to take your clone stamp tool. You want to place your target areas, so like even if like maybe you want to go over here and then go over the spots. Now, another thing you could try is, you could use the spot healing brush tool in certain areas, but again, you can't do everything with the spot healing brush tool because, like, for example, if I try to go over here, well, that was a bad example because that actually looks pretty good. Um, but what you can do is, try your best with the spot healing brush tool. But like you said, what happens is, I'm just going to be a little bit more dramatic on this one. So say, for example, if I took my spot healing brush tool and just did this, you'll see what happens. Oh my God, why is it working for me? um, Sometimes that does not happen. So in this case, it luckily did. So listen, just try your best with the spot healing, the spot healing brush tool. You could always use the clone stamp tool. Both tools will work really great. Like I said, you could use a combination of both to get, the cleanest area possible. And then, like I said, at the end, you should have an image that looks like, give me 1 second, I should have had this pulled up already, but Miss G, forgot to. So at the end, your image should look like this. Let's see, graphic design, and social files, and give me 1 more second, it will be here in just a second. It's one of these at the bottom. This one. So, like I said, you should have a clean photo. And as you can tell, this was actually like I done it like a very long time ago, so I don't even have like they're clean the borders, but like they're kind of like rough. in here I have like these nice sharp edges for a border. So like you said, you could, clean it. Like this is the goal. I want you guys to have like as clean as possible. Um, there's literally no wrinkles, no stains, no nothing. And then, like I said, the new thing that I've done in the past is like, doing it that way to get this really clean, sharp borders. And then that's it. So, and then again, you're going to rename the file when you're done. So your last name, first initial, underscore, clone, stamp, 2. And then save that. And again, save it as you could export it as a JPEG because again, there's no layers, so not a big deal. And then that's it. So that's how you use the clone stamp tool. So listen, it will be frustrating at times, but like once you get the hang of it, it'll be, fairly easier. And then it's like a great tool to use to, remove unwanted things, unwanted objects, stains, pimples, etc. Okay? Good luck.